So the easiest way to measure is if you open up your garage door and then measure from the top of the brickwork all the way down to the bottom. Once you've got the measurement of the brickwork or your pillar outside, you can then measure one of the verticals that you're going to be using, and then you can just make a mark wherever that is, because that's where you're going to cut the aluminium off. And I would recommend, obviously, you can slide this brush. You'll see that you are able to slide this brush back and forth. You can slide this brush out and then cut the aluminium and the brush separately. Probably it's not a bad idea to actually measure both pillars. You've got two sides of your garage, because if you've had a chunky boulder or anything like that, the lengths might be slightly different, but they shouldn't be. Generally they should be within a few millimeters. Somebody asked me what the best hacksaw blade is to use, and I found that the 32 teeth per 25 millimeter, whatever that translates to in imperial, but this blade gives you the best one, the best sort of result. The other ones, which are a lot stronger for steel, they tend to be a little bit rough on the aluminium, so this seems to be the best one. Now once you've cut the aluminium over here, I've now extended the brush. I've slid the brush to the right. I'm going to just cut it. So I'm lucky my lengths of the two sides of my garage were almost identical, so I'm just going to use this one which is already cut. I'll use that as a template, and then I can cut the length from the other brush. So I'll just slide this brush all along there and cut the aluminium, and then I'll come back and cut the brush. So when placing it on the wall, because I've got a light garage door and this is dark, I'm going to set it back just a few millimeters from the edge of the brick, and then I've lined it up vertically. Once it's all been nailed home, we'll then step outside and I'll drop the garage door. You can see how it's sealed. So as the door comes down, you can see the brushes seat tightly against the door, sealing it very neatly, even in the grooves. This kind of seal is impossible with just a pure rubber seal, just because it can't conform properly to the indentations in the door. In terms of positioning this piece of the extrusion, if you look on the bottom of, if you've got a boxed lintel like I have here, you will see that there's a little lip which is galvanized aluminium, and basically we want to take that aluminium strip and we want to pitch it right up against that aluminium. And it kind of slides against it, so it's a natural sort of fit along this length. You might choose, or you might choose not to, but I left a little bit of an overlap from the top brush and the side brush as well. I did that on both sides just because I wanted to try and make it as dust proof, I guess, as possible. Now you can see the door coming down. If you actually look quite closely, you'll see that the brushes at the top, don't actually touch until the door is quite far down, and then they engage against the brushes and it settles down into a complete seal around the door. Even against a white door, you'll see that the seals are quite unobtrusive, because you normally have got a gap along the sides and the top where you would normally have the dark lack of light, I suppose, behind the door, but it seals really tight against there. This brush will get rid of 90% of your dust as long as your base garage seal is intact. And this is probably a good opportunity for those who aren't putting in a new door. If this is a retrofit for an existing door, just check your bottom seal, because if you've sealed it beautifully with these seal your garage seals on the sides and the top, if your base seal is not intact, and in fact then you're kind of defeating the purpose. To get a proper seal, you need to check the seals all top, sides and bottom. On this particular door, or doors of this house, you can actually see that or can't see, should I say, that the seal is actually almost invisible from the street or from afar. This is an example of a garage which has got a solid lintel. So the seals will look exactly the same as from the outside, but we'll open the door now and then we can have a look at the top, because you cannot see the seal from the front. So the garage door is now in the up position, and you can see that above the garage door they've got the solid steel beam. So what they've done over here, you come to the front, I'm looking at the back side of the aluminium extrusion, and that has been affixed to the door itself. I'll just take a side view. Over here, so you can see how it has been affixed to the door just on the top. So obviously first prize is to just attach it, because it's easier to attach to the lintel, but if you can't for whatever reason, then this obviously is the other option. In this particular garage, the door actually seals against brick, but because of the way that this one closes, the client has attached the brush to get the better seal. He's actually attached it to the door as well, but he has attached it sort of horizontally. So we'll just open this door now to show you that. So you can see at the edge of this door, as it comes up, you can see the way the brush is angled.